Good day, I am Sharms Espina, and this is PTV News Now. The United States is considering redesignating Yemen's Houthi rebels as a terrorist organization after they seized the cargo vessel Galaxy Leader at the Red Sea. U.S. National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby called the incident a piracy of a ship, accusing the rebel group of targeting civilians. Military spokesperson for the Houthi rebels, Yahya Sari, said their armed forces will not hesitate to target any Israeli ship in the Red Sea or any location within their reach. Houthi rebels took hostage of 25 crew members of Galaxy Leader, including 17 Filipino seafarers, in retaliation to Israel's offensive in Gaza. In the meantime, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. assured the government is doing everything to ensure the safety of the Filipino seafarers. A ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas conflict is set to begin Thursday, has been delayed until at least Friday. Israel and Hamas agreed on a deal to release 50 Israeli hostages, all women and children, in exchange for a 4-day pause in the fighting and freedom for some 150 Palestinian prisoners. Israel says after the ceasefire, the fighting in Gaza will resume. VOA's Linda Gradstein has this report.
After weeks of efforts by Qatar, Egypt, and the U.S., Israel and Hamas agreed to a 4-day ceasefire in exchange for the release of 50 Israeli hostages, all women and children. Israel also agreed to free 150 Palestinian prisoners, all women and minors. Hamas will hand over 50 hostages in stages to the Red Cross, who will transfer them to Israeli soldiers. Israel says they will be brought to isolated medical facilities inside Israel to reunite with their families and have medical checks. Each day, another 12 or 13 hostages will be freed. Israeli press reports say this deal will initially include 30 children, 8 mothers, and 12 other women. Israel claims that Hamas is holding some 40 children, but Hamas says it cannot yet locate some 10 additional children kidnapped on October 7th. The Israeli cabinet approved the deal in a late-night session Tuesday.
We are facing a difficult decision this evening, but it's a right decision. The entire security establishment fully supports it.
Israel has published a list of 300 Palestinian prisoners, either women or under age 19, half of whom will be released in exchange for the 50 Israeli hostages. Others could be freed if the ceasefire is extended. One of those on the list is 18-year-old Ubay Abu Maria, whose father Yusuf was himself jailed by Israel 5 times.
Ubay was first arrested at 14. And he's now injured, losing control of 70% of his arm. I am very happy that soon Ubay will be in my arms.
The war began after fighters from U.S.-designated terrorist group Hamas crossed into Israel October 7th and killed some 1,200 people, abducting another 240, mostly civilians. Israel responded with massive airstrikes and a ground invasion that has killed at least 14,000 people in Gaza, more than 2/3 of them women and children, according to Hamas. During the 4-day ceasefire, Israel will allow large quantities of humanitarian aid, including fuel, into Gaza. But Israeli officials say that after the ceasefire ends, Israel will resume its offensive against Hamas.
Unlike many Israelis, I believe that it is very clear to the decision makers that they cannot stop. The Israeli sentiment will not let them stop. If they stop the war after the 4, 5, 6 days of the ceasefire, that will be the end of this government.
For the families of the hostages in Israel, it is a time of unbearable tension as they wait to see if their loved ones will be freed. Linda Gradstein, VOA News, Jerusalem.
In the meantime, the Israeli military convoy entered the war-torn Gaza City. AFP TV footage showed Israeli soldiers crossing into Gaza and driving along the main battle-scarred coastal road. The conflict was sparked by the October 7 attacks when Hamas militants stormed over the border, killing 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and taking around 240 hostages. Since then, Gaza's Hamas-run government says more than 14,000 people were killed in Israel's aerial bombardment and ground operations in Gaza. 2/3 of them were women and children. At this juncture, let's turn over to my colleague Eddie Carta in the Pine City for what's shaping up of late in the Cordilleras. Eddie?
Naimbag Arabi, Pilipinas, nabakna nga kultura ken tradisyon. Dahil tinitampok ti selebrasyon iti may ka 123 founding anniversary ti probinsya ti Benguet. Manipod Kapitolyo aging ti Benguet Sports Complex si Jaywangal Latidad nagparada dito lokal nga opisyal panchet ti gobyerno ken na dumaduma grupo. Highlight iti Grand Cañao iti Wino para maparti. Inaangay programa inyo na Governor Melchor de Clas nulong dagito pisno ken tapno mapasaya ti Benguet. Dinayo mat ni Benguet Representative Eric Yap tinakita na para kay kaysa dagito humili. Kabayatan na tani gagay dagito opisyal mapapintas pa iti Adibay Festival kas iti panagbenga iti Baguio City tapno makaguyugoy iti adadupay at turista.
Sa high time na ipakita natin sa buong Pilipinas, i-showcase natin kung ano ba talaga tayo dito sa Benguet, ano ba meron sa Adibay natin, and ano naman na mapapala natin doon. It will bring tourists sa ating probinsya at syempre pag may turista, may negosyo, may income po ang Benguet.
Iti dumapay damag tuloy-tuloy ti paningidanon ti gobyerno iti serbisyo kadagiti lugar nga apektado iti internal armed conflict tapno maragpati dan-anay akapya. Indolwan ti Office of the Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation and Unity wenno OPAPRU ti Medical, Dental, Optical, Ophthalmology Mission iti municipal grounds ti Sadanga Mountain Province. No, sa dino nasurok 5 ti nagbenepisyo. Iti panagibinadang ti lokal gobyerno ti Sadanga ken ti Medical Outreach Missions Fellowship ti St. Louis University School of Medicine. Panggap ti aktibidad ang may payan ti tulong dagiti nabigbig CBA, CPLA communities kas iti Sadanga. Impiksama ti amatiili ti panagyaman na kadagiti masiknan ngayon siya ken service providers iti panangidanon da iti naduma-duma serbisyo iti lugar dagitoy. Impanamnaman na pa iti panang suportar da kadagiti addang ti gobyerno para iti kapya. Dagiti damdamag manipon ito'y PTV Cordillera siya ni Eddie Carta Naimbag Arabi.
Many thanks, Eddie. And that's a wrap for tonight. We look forward to seeing you again for the latest breakers all around the planet. Keep in mind to always be kind, stick with what works, count those blessings, and give thanks while you catch the news right here on PTV. This is Sharm Zaspina wishing you all a restful night ahead.